Protect your home from home. Simple Caravan Insurance, sponsors of the Caravan channel.
Now, modern caravans like this are full of all kinds of gadgets and goodies, but it wasn't always like that. Way back in the 60s, caravans were a little bit more, well, basic, let's put it that way. But some people hanker for that retro feel. And one man in particular has turned his passion for older caravans into a business. The Retro Caravan Company in Kent specialises in vintage 1950s, 60s and 70s caravans and camping paraphernalia. So, if you need a vintage camping prop for a festival, a film or any other purpose, they can sort you out with everything, except Barbara Windsor.
It was a growing family, basically, that made us do it, and people came up and said, wow, a fantastic caravan, where did you get it? And you know, the rest is history, really. I just looked for more and more of them. And I started collecting really rare ones. Right, this caravan here is a 1961 Mostard, very early, very rare, 3-window on the front and back. Normally they're one solid window. I found it in a barn in Holland, and I had it restored, and then brought it back to England, and it's used for mainly prop hire. We would provide them mainly for filming, photo shoot, corporate events. If they're doing something based on the 50s, 60s or 70s, then that's what we do. We'll supply as much or as many props as they need from that period to set up the scene. Although we do use it sometimes ourselves as a family going away, because it's 5 berth, which is quite unusual for a tiny caravan. It's a bit of a squeeze in there at 5 berth, but very warm. Well, it's very basic. It's got like a basic water tank that you hook off, go off, fill up. It's got a little chrome tap on the end, 2-ring burner. There is no heating. It's just purely for the look and for nostalgic reasons that I collect them, really. But I'm a carpenter by trade, so repairs come pretty easy to me. I can pretty much take it apart and put it back together again. This is a 1961 Biod. It's extremely rare because I've never ever heard of one this early. I've seen 62s and 63s, but never a 61. This is our ongoing restoration project. There's a bit of work to do, but there's no osmosis, so the actual bodywork is okay. It's just pure taking it apart, respraying it, refitting the windows, maybe changing some of them, but generally she's solid, brakes work, chassis okay. Had a few little problems with her, but we've sorted the mechanics of it out now. Now it's down to restoring the outside and then obviously going inside and restoring that to a retro sort of finish, nice upholstery, nice curtains. It's a bit of a project, but you know, you can't really go wrong with the rarity, really. I think it will take a year, about a year in a barn, stripped right down. I'm going to have trouble getting things like the beads. The beading on the edges is going to be difficult to get hold of because it's so rare. I've got these are tiny little Sputnik lights that stick out on the roof. They're going to be hard, so I'm going to end up making them myself out of coloured resin. Just because it's so old, it's going to be hard to get the parts, but I will get them, and if I can't get them, I'll make them. 3 berth, basic cooker, little coolie fridge, a little sink, and that's about it, really. But it's very lightweight, 350 kilos, that's all it weighs. It's incredibly lightweight, you could pull it with a Mini. I just wanted to find a lightweight caravan, and with most of the caravans that I have at the Retro Caravan Company is just lightweight caravans to go with classic cars. This one was found on the internet from a guy who was living in Rotterdam in a harbour, and he lived in it with his girlfriend for 5 years, and he bought it off an old man who was the first owner of it. And it looks so pretty when it's done. It's so space age, it's wonderful, isn't it? Our pride and joy, our personal caravan. 1963 SMV10, made in Sweden. Very nice curves, all original inside, all original outside. I've not really done any restoration to it because it came from an old professor in Holland, and he'd kept it in a barn and didn't use it past the mid-70s, so it was pretty much an unused vehicle and kept in a dry barn. So I quite like the fact that it's got its little knocks. It tells a story, as long as I keep it mechanically sound. Weighs about 550 kilos, which is very lightweight, heavily insulated because it's from Sweden. got a beautiful paraffin heater inside with a little chimney on the top there. It doesn't smell all paraffin-y inside it. It warms it up, so really snug and warm. Again, 4-berth, very basic 2-ring burner, no fridge, but it does have a toilet. Then it goes out, then you push the back out, like so, and then clip these two onto there, and that's a compartment for the toilet. You know, we enjoy this one, and it looks great on the back of the old split-screen camper, so, and the family love it, so we shall use it and continue to use it and enjoy it. I like them a little bit battered and a little bit bashed, just to tell me a story. Lots of people have slept in here, and there's been a lot of years of happiness and laughter, and that's quite a nice thing to think about when you're sort of laying in here. I'm not the only person that's laid here for the last 50 years, you know. The babies that laid in here are now old people, you know, that's kind of a strange thing as well. I quite like that.